Hello, everyone. Today, I want to tell you a story, part of my life story. What happened was that yesterday, I went to see my ex-wife, Mariana's sister, Hilda. The reason I'm using this lighting is because I feel ashamed. I don't want people to see my face very clearly. I feel bad. Okay. Yesterday, I went to see Hilda. That is their father's old house. That was a house that when I got married with Mariana, we had a party nearby, and I stayed there for a couple of days. So that house, to me, is my Norwegian home, because that was the first house, proper house actually I stayed in Norway. So I have a lot of feeling towards that house. Yesterday, I went to see Hilda. I brought my book, Father, Son, and Violin. This is my life story, talking about from China, a starving child, use his effort, conquer all the obstacles, the difficulties, finally became a Hollywood star musician, a violinist, a member of Hollywood star group. I also brought my CD, especially this CD. This is 8 times Hollywood nominated and 2 Hollywood star. My partner, Leslie Egler, did this together with me. I also brought my CD, the latest published in China. This has 13 hours of my recording. 13 hours of violin music, a few hours, like 3 or 4 hours original music, which I've composed and I made. This is complete of my life, career, life achievement. I don't even know in this world other violinists could have 13 hours of recording. But when I arrived there was nobody home, and the next door neighbor, the lady, still remembers me. She said, "Yes, I remember you play violin on the backyard over 30 years ago." But actually, that was 37 years ago. Then the bad news is, she told me Mariana's sister, Hilda, sold the house and moved away. The story was like 3 years ago. Yes, 3 years ago. I went there. I passed this CD to her husband because Hilda was not home. The husband remembers me, says, "Yes, I will deliver to Hilda. She still lives here." But next year, I think it was last year, I was passing by. I saw there was a renovation, a reform of the house. But this year, the lady told me she moved out. I don't know if this is a coincidence or it's because of me. Now, the story starts from 1987. I was in Australia. I was in Australia as a Chinese student to study English, literature, and study music in Australia. Of course, at that time, Chinese student is very difficult to get out of the country. As far as you get out of the country, no one wants to return. That's why I had to buy my visa to stay there. But there I met a lady called Eileen. Eileen was very much in love with me. She's Australian, 3rd generation Chinese, but she's pure Australian because she does not even speak Chinese, a little bit Cantonese maybe to her mother. She was very much in love with me, and we lived together for some time, and she forced me to propose to her to marry. That was a very good chance to marry as convenience to me. To her was for love. But Eileen was, first of all, a very, very strong Christian. the one word. She said, if you married me and if you want to divorce me, you have to go over my dead body. Go over my dead body was the last line that I could not cross because I don't want to kill anyone. Plus, I realized my affection, my feeling towards Eileen is more like a mother. I trust her completely, but not as a woman. As a woman, she does not attract me that much sexually or appearance or whatever. But as a person, she was so much, I have to rely upon her completely, and she is just like a mother to me. So I realized that. So I did not want to, how can I say it? Want to destroy this relationship, to dirt our relationship, to put dirt on our relationship. By the time that I met Mariana, of course, before that, Mariana, we met in Australia, and she fell in love with me immediately, and she had been in love with me all the time, but I did not even notice. But as a Chinese boy, I need to use someone to get out of China, to stay in the Western world. This for Westerners was difficult to understand. For Chinese, they understand it easily. So I have to use someone. By the time I contacted Mariana, and Mariana said yes. So I admit I used Mariana to get to Norway, to become a Norwegian citizenship. But Mariana, we were lived together for 4 years. The marriage lasted for 4 years. There was some love. Okay, we built some love. But I did a lot of very, very nasty things to Mariana, very bad things. Of course, after 4 years, when I got my Norwegian passport, almost like treated the house we bought together. She took the house and she sold the house. She used the rest of the money and bought another small house outside of Oslo, and we just divorced. Because I'm a violin soloist type, I'm not a orchestra player type. So I have my very strong character. By that time, I told Mariana I was a very good violinist, very talented. Mariana believed. Then, when it comes to working in the orchestra, for the time was Christian Sound Orchestra, and she asked me to be a member so I can have a salary. Of course, the audition wasn't very, very good. Plus, the concertmaster has and I don't want to make it so clearly. So my technique is far better than anyone else. But I'm not maybe suited to the orchestra. So the concertmaster of Christian Sound Orchestra, his name is Gunther Foss, told Mariana and her sister Hirta, I am only good for second violinist. The orchestra has two groups, second violin and first violin. But they need first violinist. So second violinist has no position. It means that I could not have the job. So that made Mariana and her sister very disappointed. I remember her sister was pointing at me. You lied to my sister. You say you're a good violinist. That hurt me very much. By that time, of course, you cannot live real like a soloist. So I have to do something. Plus, my father was sick in China, need money. So I started to have a violin shop in Oslo, first in my own home. So I went to China, I made some violins together with some other makers. First of all, I was not a professional violinist. By that time, I have to admit, I made my first violin when I was 12 years old, purely because I was so poor, I could not afford to buy one. So with the help of a violin maker, I made my first violin, at 12 years old. But I have some basis, I have some foundation of violin making. But by that time, yes, I said again, I was not a professional violin maker. So I went back to China, have all the best Chinese violin makers. I made some violins. I made myself a brand, Daniel Chinius brand. It was sold very well in Norway. Like an Olympic, Lillehammer Olympic. I think it's 1992 or I don't remember exact year. There was over 300 violins play in the scene. Half of my violin, half of them are violins bought from me. So I was very successful in Norway. At the same time, I work for Stavanger Symphony Orchestra, also Bergen Symphony Orchestra, to do repair bowls, do this easy repair job. Then, after divorce, Marianna wrote a letter to everyone because she took the name book. And she wrote a letter to every violinist or orchestra, any organization, include my partner in Sweden. Because by that time I was working also in Helsingborg with Harleman's music shop. So I had a big name. I have these newspapers going on. Our television even came to see me in Sweden. So I made a good name. But Marianna wrote a letter, destroy everything. She just told everyone I was a liar. I was not a violin maker. I don't know. And asked everyone stop dealing with me. So immediately I lost almost all my customers, and all the orchestras like Stavanger, Bergen stopped giving me work, and even the shop in Sweden. So only Sweden shop owner told me, your lady wrote us a letter, and she sent this letter to everyone, I believe. So that was a no from now on. That was also one of the reasons I left Norway for Japan. But before I left Norway for Japan, I went to Cremona to study. I went to Mittenwald to study. I went to many European countries to study. I went to America 3 times to study with the best violin makers and the best bow makers. For all these years, 30 years, I made myself a very good violin maker and repairer. I made the most violin repair videos on YouTube. If anyone go to YouTube to my channel, A.V. Daniel Violin, you can see hundreds of repairing videos. That's why I have students all over the world. But all these years, I did not stop playing violin. Even though I had my vow with my master, don't play violin in front of violinists. Be humble. I keep that promise. But actually, I have been practice. I have been doing my own recording. I have been learning how to record music professionally. Since what happened in Japan, you can just search or Google Daniel Olsen Chin wife. You Google my name, Daniel Olsen Chin wife. Then you'll find everything what happened in 2014. Okay. So since then, I left my shop. I closed my shop. I come back to play violin again. In 2015, we got nominated again by Hollywood Music of Media. So I was represent our group, the Bike Music, walk on the red carpet in fame. That was the high climax of my life career. And since then, I've been doing recordings. Now I have 13 hours of violin recordings. 4 years ago, when I reached age 67, I chose to retire back to Kristiansand. This is a place Marianna was born. First, I got a cabin, a holiday house. Then I got this little farm. Then I got another big house. So I planned to use that big house to be my museum in the future. Because I don't know in this world, in the violin field, anyone has achieved that much as I did. Playing, making, repair, adjustment, writing, a theory, essays. I did everything in violin as a one. So I think I was that. But most of all is that I want to show Mariana what she did for me was worth it. She did a good thing. Because of her, she changed my life, and I made myself with all the effort. I contribute to this world. That's why I want to present my book, my music to Mariana, to tell her she did the right thing. What she did was worth it. So this is all I wanted to do for over 30 years. I just want to convince Mariana and her sister I did not lie to them. I was a very good violinist, and I have become a professional violin maker, a shop owner, and I contributed so much to the violin world. I even wrote a few books. Father, Son, and Violin is one of them, and the other one is called, okay, I don't say the name now. That was the book talk about my life here in Oslo, in Norway, for 10 years. 2 years ago, I appeared myself to Kristiansand Orchestra. I offered my job. I said I can help them to repair, to rehearse, do orders. The purpose was not to make money. The purpose was to make myself a name here in Kristiansand. I even opposed that I could play a solo together with the orchestra. So finally, I want to present this to Mariana and her sister, that I am accepted not only by the whole world, as well as Kristiansand. But now all this are meaningless. I don't know why Mariana and her sister hate me so much. I just hope this moving out thing was a coincidence. Maybe they planned a long time ago. But for me, the meaning stay in Norway, the meaning stay here in Kristiansand has lost. I have no reason to be here anymore. Okay, now I told you part of my life story, and if you found me somewhere in France, somewhere in Spain, settled down somewhere else in the world, and not come back again to Norway, you understand that was the reason. Norway left me almost no reason to be here. Okay, thank you.